As designers, we've all had the situation where a client gives you a logo or piece of artwork that's much too low-res to use. They don't understand what the problem is, you do. Here's how to fix it. I'm Steve Caplin for CreativePro, the essential resource for design professionals. And we're going to look at how to turn any artwork into usable vector artwork using concept to vector inside Adobe Illustrator. Here's the Burger King logo that I grabbed off the internet, and it's quite low res. It's got this blue background, and you can see if we zoom in, it's actually quite fuzzy. Now, the traditional way to turn this into usable artwork would be to click on it and select Image Trace. By default, it's going to put it into black and white. So let's bring up the Image Trace controls and change it to color. Well, it has done the transformation, but if we zoom in, you can see it's done a very poor job because of the fuzzy edges in the original. If we expand this, you can see just how poor it really is. So let's undo to go back to our original and find a better way. And that better way is to use concept to vector. We'll click on it and let's see what it does. Now, it can take a few minutes, so let's skip ahead to the end. Now, when you use concept to vector, it initially comes up with its own prompt. In this case, convert the image into a clean vector illustration in a modern cartoon style. Preserve key features, use bold, consistent outlines. Well, I don't want any of that. So I came up with my own prompt, which was just convert the image into a clean vector illustration, preserve key features and recognizable details. And it's done a very much better job. If we zoom in, you can see just how clean this is. It's an almost perfect match from the original, with very few anchor points that are easily edited. Of course, because the original had a blue background, this has also got a blue background. But because it's regular Illustrator artwork, we can simply select that background with the Direct Selection tool and delete it. It's also added that background inside all of these characters. So we can just select each of those and in the Pathfinder panel choose Remove Front. In this case, it's brought it to the front when we took out the top one, so let's send that B to the back. Now we can select the B and the counter and remove the front from it. And let's do the same with the registered trademark symbol. And there is our very, very clean version of the Burger King logo, a very good match for the original. Let's look at another example. Here's the logo for the Washington Post. It is just text, but it's quite complex text. Not only has it got the very traditional black letter header, but it's also got the small text underneath. My first go at this didn't produce great results. It has filled in the whole of the black letter, and it's done something rather awful with the strapline underneath. So I changed the prompt to just flat vector illustration faithful to the original, and it's done an extraordinary job here. It has matched the black letter perfectly. I cannot see any errors there at all. And it may have increased the size of Democracy Lies in Darkness. But when we zoom in, this is beautifully constructed lettering. You can see there are very few anchor points, which makes it easy to edit. And this is just about as good as if we'd got the original font and then created outlines from it. And so it's turned a screenshot from a website into real usable vector artwork. Let's look at one more example. Here's the CreativePro logo, and I've taken this directly from the website. It was a very low-res original, and when we zoom in, you can see very clearly just how fuzzy this is. When I used Generate Vectors, this was the result. It's quite extraordinary the way that not only has it produced a perfect rendition of the logo, but the text is very, very close. There are a few anomalies. The shape of the E isn't quite right, and you can see if we zoom in that on the original there is a slight curve at the top of the T. Well, that's easy to fix because this is still regular Illustrator artwork. We can switch to the Direct Selection tool, click on that point, and then just round out that corner. So it may not be exactly the same as the original font, but it's an extremely close match. There is, of course, a catch. Using the Google Gemini model, which produces the best results, uses credits. So the more you use it, the more you're going to have to pay for extra credits if you go over your limit. But given how quickly it does the incredible, you may decide it's well worth it.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to our channel. And for thousands more how-to articles and tutorials, visit our website, CreativePro.com, and become a member today. Thanks for learning with us.